Welcome to Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real, where we feature entrepreneurs and enterprise leaders who participate in shareyourstories.online. My name is Trish Tonai, and I'm the founder and host for the series. And with me today, I'm going to call them the dynamic duo, a mother and daughter team who actually bring art to the street. Barbara and Alexandra are joining us today from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm super thrilled to have both of them on our show today to talk about how we're making these connections between art and our communities. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, Trish.
We
are so pleased to be here with you. What a fun way to start the day.
I always say it's a really wonderful way to end the week, right? Very inspirational when we can kind of, we've all had our challenges this week, and now this is a wonderful way to wrap it up.
Yes, so, it gives us inspiration for the weekend.
Absolutely. So Alexandra, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the mission and vision for your company.
Oh, sure. Thank you. So we just celebrated 1 year in business. So we are, as you said, a mother-daughter team. And, our focus is bringing fine art from the gallery to the streets. So we print my mom's artwork over the past 40 years, about 7 signature styles on fine art statement pieces. So these would be like accessories, tech accessories, bags, home goods. And our vision is really to inspire people through my mom's story, as well as bringing art out of galleries into everyday life and the beauty that provides, and fulfilling others to live their own dream. So it's been a lot of fun in year 1, and we are having so much fun in year 2, and really just enjoying the journey together.
Well, first of all, I need to congratulate you on your first year of anniversary. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So Barbara, I think that being a fashion illustrator has got to have been one of the most fantastic careers that you've had. And I'm sure you've met a lot of really awesome people in the fashion industry. But tell us a little bit about what inspires you to be artistic? Because you're clearly the creative side of the business. And then Alexandra sort of takes your creativity and pushes it out into the business and marketing world. So tell us what gives you your inspiration.
I've been drawing since I was 2. So it's been a lifelong thing. It's drawing for me and painting. All artwork has sort of been a stabilizer. It's always been in my life. I'm very visual. I love beautiful things. I'm really drawn in those directions. So art was sort of a natural synthesis for me to go into that. And, over the years, I've had in the back of my mind, maybe what we could do is form a company. Alex is extremely good business-wise. She's also a great artist herself, which she hasn't had a chance to really, utilize. But I'm hoping at some point she can do that, because she's a natural artist. So, the two of us have sort of put our heads together. We think in a very similar fashion, which is a bonus in our position. And that's kind of how we came to where we are today.
What's really wonderful
question
is I love how the two of you complement one another. So not only are you in a family business, in a mother-daughter relationship, but you've got this wonderful symbiotic sort of creativity and business sense that you've kind of put together.
Thank you.
Tell us, how do you sell your product? Because I went to your website and I saw these awesome things that you can obviously purchase online. So what gave you the ideas to purchase, to do things in sort of homewares and in the tech area, as well as, things that we can even use and utilize as from an accessory point of view?
Thank you, Trish. That's a great question. And it was quite an evolution, and it continues to be a journey in kind of product placement and finding the best way to market our products. But we traveled to art shows. My mom had a thriving career as a fashion illustrator for about 30 years. And I remember as a kid opening the New York Times and seeing her artwork printed for Nordstrom's, Lord & Taylor, Hutzler's, a lot of the top department stores. And, that was really how clothes used to be sold. And
Right.
then when photography disrupted the market, she shifted over into her second dream, which was fine art. So as a family, we have a lot of fun stories of taking a U-Haul from Baltimore to New York City to Palm Beach, Florida. We've shown in California and San Diego. So, and Florida as well. So near Fort Lauderdale. So, taking these large oil paintings to these incredible art shows of these artists all around the world that are really living their gift and bringing their beauty to the world. And through that process, we realized that people really wanted to experience art beyond just the walls of their home. They were interested in more affordable price points and gifting of artwork in and an easier way to travel beyond a large oil painting. How do I take this on a plane? I would love to take this home. Do you offer prints? Shipping is always an issue with artwork. So, we kind of talked about, well, how do we take this from the gallery to the street? And that was really, Mom kind of stepped in at that point and found the drop shipping business model.
I did. It started, strangely enough, I have a lot of old clothes because I collect things. And I was thinking, how do I sell some of these old clothes, that I'm not using? And I got on the Shopify platform and I realized that you could actually make things on this platform. So, I thought, well, we have so much artwork. Let me see if I can superimpose something on a mug, something very simple. So we found out that was really easy to do. And I told Alex about it. I thought, you know what, this could be a direction we could go in. This is something that could really have legs for both of us. We could start putting things on everyday items and sort of, let art be your fashion, which is kind of our tagline.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how it started. It was just putting one image on a mug and then saying, hey, wait a minute, this could really turn into something that's fun.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that fantastic? Now, when I took a look at your website, one of the things that I also noticed is that you both lovely ladies have an amazing connection with your community, and you're doing a give back through some of the monies or the revenue that you get from the products that you sell. You're donating them to charities. So tell me a little bit about why you decided to make that sort of community connection.
Thank you. Yeah, that was, my mom and I have always loved giving to people, to our friends and family, whether it was just a friend advice, it's been kind of central to who we are. And, in a lot of our paintings, animals took a theme. So animals are also very important to us. We have animals, and we also live in Baltimore City, and in any city you see people that are in need and have fallen on hard times. And so when that's in your face, instead of just feeling bad about it, we thought, well, how can we make a little impact on giving back to our local community as it relates to people and health, in addition to animals and their well-being, and also to the art world, because the art world is changing and shifting so much. We live right near Micah. So there's a lot of young budding artists, and finding ways to kind of inspire them as well in healing communities through art. So, we talked about it, and we started interviewing, just like you do, Trish, inspirational people that were involved in giving back, that had kind of risen above challenges to find their gift. And through those connections, the universe brought us these relationships we work with Help Heal Humanity, which is an international charity we just launched nationally in the U.S. and in our building local feeding and education programs. We work with American Humane, which was an evolution through my mom's board work with Pet Philanthropy Circle, another of their partners in giving back to animals. And then we also work with a mutual friend of ours, Viviana Puelo, through Create for Peace, which is healing communities through art. So a portion of our proceeds give back to each of those charities. And we wanted to give other people a way to give back as well, through, online purchases and things like that. So that's just
what a wonderful connection. That is so awesome that you've taken something that's sort of visually inspiring and then you've brought it sort of full circle by supporting the people in your community in various different ways. Alexandra, I'm going to put you on the spot. Your mom, Barbara, says that you're a budding artist and that you have some great talent. So tell us, are we going to see some of your artwork on some of these items in the near future?
Not in any near future. However, my mom's artwork is really the heart of Sisumwa. We really have a focus on the historical evolution of fashion illustration to glamour portraiture. And, our focus is really honoring that. My mom is very biased and kind when she says that.
I speak the truth.
But I did study art in high school and in college a little bit. It's fun for me, but art takes a lot of patience. It's a lot of studying. My mom has a lot more patience than I do, to sit there with a paintbrush and everything by hand. It's a lot of attention to detail. Yeah. I'm kind of a lazy artist. When I do it, it's fun, but I don't practice the art of art. Not anytime soon, Trish. Thank you. It's more of just something I enjoy every now and then. But I do think that if you do have natural talent, from your parents, you should do it. So it is a goal of mine, just personally, to get involved a little bit with it.
Barbara, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about, so when I went onto your website, I saw this absolutely fantastic sort of pink and red dress that you've now put onto an iPhone cover. So can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration or the story that goes behind that wonderful dress?
I'm trying to think which one.
That's shrimp taffeta.
Yeah.
Yes. We have a friend that has a consignment shop. And we went in there one day looking around. She has wonderful things. And she had this gown that nobody bought that was in the basement.
It's fabulous.
And I said, this
is fabulous
in a painting, So we had a model, put it on a sofa. And I thought, I want something maybe a little surreal in this painting. So I had the sofa sort of surfing the sea with the model on it. But
it's very dramatic.
Yeah. I have quite a collection of prop dresses that we have collected over the years. There's vintage stores right across the street, and we're always looking. So those stimulate me, coming from a fashion background.
Exactly.
And there's so many fantastic dresses out there that need to be immortalized.
Well, Barbara, we're going to have you back just to talk about your fashion illustration and a special edition of Keeping It Real, because I would really love to just talk to you about that particular part of your career. But one of the things that we do in the guest blog is we get everyone to share their 3 words of advice. And I'm going to read what your 3 words of advice are, ladies. They are instinct, responsibility, and fulfillment. So share in telling us a little bit about why those 3 words are important to you.
I think, we can start with instinct. And I think that instinct, is something that we all have to follow, your gut instinct. I mean, we hear it over and over and over. Yeah. And I think we tend to maybe 50% of the time, or maybe more, not follow. You think, well, maybe I should do this, Yeah. And you always think later, I should have followed my instinct, because your instincts are right. That's your guiding force within.
Very true.
And so I think that's something that we should all keep in mind, because I think it's a friend. Your instinct is your friend.
I agree. It's so
Alexandra,
true. Are you going to take responsibility or fulfillment?
Yes, both. They all kind of go together, Trish.
Yeah.
I think my mom is one of those few lucky people that had an instinct at 2 what her gift was. And she just ran with it through a very successful career as a female in business. And so that was, and it started with a couple generations back, her parents saying, this is your gift. You have a responsibility to fulfill it. And knowing what we're born with, what we can develop to give back to the world. And so that's just something that in our family, we've always believed, this is your gift. This is what you're really good at. It's your responsibility to bring this and develop it to bring good and healing to the world. And ultimately, fulfillment is what comes out of that. I think a lot of times we can get distracted of, strategically, here's where the money is, or here's where this is, or here's where that is. And we lose sight of our gift and trusting our gut. And from my experience, I have definitely been in different areas that were not aligned with where we're at now. And it is so much more fulfilling when you are aligned with your gift. So we try to inspire other people through the name Sisumwa, what that means, through my mom's story, to believe that for themselves so that they can have a meaningful and fulfilled life as well.
I want to thank you both for spending some time with me today. It's absolutely enlightening to see how your creativity and talent have dovetailed together, and how you've been able to take those responsibilities and that wonderful creativity, Barbara, that you've nurtured over the years, and take it into and blossom into a whole new place. So will you join me in a separate episode of Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real, where you can talk about your life as a fashion illustrator?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be honored.
All right.
And it's such a fun subject. So,
and Trish, thank you so much for featuring us. It was a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you again and continuing to be inspired by your story as well. We had a chance to see your website and look forward to getting to know you more.
Thank you so much, ladies. And to our viewing and listening audience, I want to thank you so much for joining us today as I introduced you to the wonderful dynamic duo behind the logo. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in another edition of Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real.
Thank you.